Today, most people have been exposed to video games in one way or another. Through our cell phones, computers, even television. What most people don't realize is there's an entire industry devoted to playing competitive video games as a profession. Major League Gaming is the premier organization for professional gaming in North America. Each year, MLG hosts a series of events in several major US cities called the MLG Pro Circuit. These events bring together the best professional and amateur gamers from across the world where they compete in tournaments for a shot at thousands of dollars in prizes. The first stop of the 2013 MLG Pro Circuit is here in Dallas, Texas, held at the Dallas Convention Center. These events will include over 200 different teams competing in Call of Duty, 14 teams for League of Legends, 32 professional StarCraft players, and over 15,000 spectators to witness every single game. Join us as we follow an amateur team and an individual professional player as they travel to Dallas to compete in the 2013 MLG Winter Championships. Founded in 2011, Zero Remorse Gaming is a small esports organization based in Dallas, Texas, with players competing in Halo, Call of Duty, and Marvel vs. Capcom. After practicing for months, they hope to place high enough in the tournament to make a bigger name for their organization and to attract sponsors. Meet Felipe, or as he's known in the competitive gaming world, Killer. He's worked extremely hard to be one of the few professional video game players to come out of South America. Signed under the New York-based esports organization, Clarity Gaming, he is here in Dallas to compete in the first major tournament for the new StarCraft II expansion, Heart of the Swarm.
Welcome to Dallas.
It's the first morning of the Winter Championship weekend. While the venue doesn't open up until 2 in the afternoon, attendees line up outside of the convention from as early as 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. The check-in procedure begins at 9 a.m. This is when competitors can pick up their player passes and sign up for warm-up times. As opening time gets closer, the crowd outside the venue door grows larger and louder. The guys from Zero Remorse are close to the front, anxious to get inside. As soon as the doors open, the crowd rushes through the doors. The atmosphere inside is almost unreal. Rows upon rows of monitors and gaming stations line each side of the venue. On the left is the lounge for the professional players who were invited to compete. On the right are a series of shops and activities for fans to take part in. Everything in the venue is here to promote esports. The 3 main staging areas for the tournaments each have hundreds of chairs lined up for the spectators. The Zero Remorse squad heads straight to one of the gaming stations to warm up before their first match. The Call of Duty tournament is structured to allow up to 204 teams between 2 double elimination brackets, an open bracket, and a championship bracket. The championship bracket starts with 12 teams who pre-qualified through a series of online qualification tournaments. The open bracket is where any team can buy a pass beforehand or at the venue. Zero Remorse was seeded number 132 in the open bracket. Once a team loses their first match in either the championship or the open bracket, they are placed into the losers bracket of each respective bracket. A loss in the losers bracket eliminates a team from the competition entirely. Once there are 4 teams left in the open winners bracket and 8 teams in the open losers bracket, these 12 teams will be reseeded into the championship winners and losers brackets, respectively. The final team remaining in the championship bracket will take home a grand prize of $20,000.
Definitely need to work on hard points.
As the time to their matches get closer, the team starts feeling the pressure.
We're doing all right, not too bad. We just gotta get that hard point down a little bit.
But it's not just the prize money that Zero Remorse is looking at. Placing high enough in the tournament brings a large amount of exposure to the organization and to the players. This kind of exposure attracts sponsors. Having sponsors brings more legitimacy to an organization and provides funds that help a team travel to events across the country.
I've already gotten past that point where it's just, hey, fuck it, you know, give it all right there, play hard. It's not gonna be too much of something to get over this time. I already know what it's like to feel to win and lose at a major event, so it's gonna be, just another time, another event to give it all out.
When the time comes, the teams show up at their station and begin getting ready. They plug in their headsets and controllers. They customize their in-game loadouts and settings.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're ready. Just waiting on them. Waiting on the official.
The first game in a best of 3 goes underway. Both teams become totally focused on their screens. The sound of call-outs fill the area. This is what competitive gaming is about. Two teams putting 100% of their effort into being the best gamers they can possibly be. Zero Remorse takes a significant early lead. However, about 5 minutes into it, their lead dissipates. And the team is now on their heels. The game ends and Zero Remorse is now down 1 game. If they lose the next one, they will be placed into the loser's bracket.
Wheelbarrow, one wheelbarrow.
Despite giving it their all, it just isn't enough to take down their opponents. The team members gather their belongings and walk out of the venue.
It is what it is. They had to do it too, just like us. Can't blame lag or nothing, so we lost because they were better than us. They have better teamwork and, team synergy.
Their losers bracket match is scheduled for tomorrow, so they head back home to rest up and prepare. For Killer, his weekend here at the Winter Championship begins on Saturday. He starts the day with a written interview with the media director of his sponsoring organization, Clarity Gaming. After the interview, he grabs a light breakfast before heading to the venue. With his previous success at various international StarCraft tournaments, Killer was invited by MLG to participate in the world's first major tournament for the StarCraft II expansion, Heart of the Swarm. Unlike previous StarCraft tournaments organized by MLG, which involved an open bracket and championship bracket, because the Winter Championship is being held only 3 days after the release, there will only be a single elimination exhibition tournament. 32 professional players from around the world were invited to participate. After arriving at the venue, Killer takes some time to practice before his match. 3 o'clock rolls around, and Killer makes his way to the stage where he will be playing against Evil Genius's player, Thorzane. The match is best of 5 games. As the match begins, fans of both players gather around the stage showing their support. Game 1 ends in a victory for Killer. He is now 2 victories away from moving on to the next round. The next game, however, proves to be one of the longest games in the tournament. Thorzane manages to take control of the map and slowly drains Killer's resources. Killer fights to the last, refusing to give up, but eventually, Thorzane overtakes him after the game clock reads just over an hour. Despite expending a lot of his energy on the last game, Killer manages to get himself together and dominate the next 2 games, taking the series and moving on to the round of 16. We catch up with the Zero Remorse squad, who just finished up their match in the losers bracket. Sadly though, they were not victorious and have been knocked out of the tournament. Despite not making a significant run in the tournament, the team will not give up. They will go home, practice more, and come back to the next MLG event stronger than ever.
Same thing as yesterday. Outplayed.
It's always next time.
The odd one's little brother?
Yes.
It is now close to midnight on day 2 of the Winter Championship. Killer's last match of the day is just about to start. In this round, he will play against South Korean player Last. The crowds have died down and only the most dedicated fans now remain. Both players are extremely tired from a long day. Killer gives it his all, but it's not enough to overtake Last. Killer gets knocked out of the tournament, losing 0-3. This isn't the end for him though. After this weekend, he will be moving from his hometown in Chile to live in New York at the Clarity Gaming House. This is where the players from Clarity work and live to become the best StarCraft players they can be. While the Winter Championship may be over, it certainly won't be the last major esports event. One of the most popular sayings about esport is that every year is the biggest year for esports. Major League Gaming, for example, has seen an increase of 636% in viewership in just the past 2 years. The 2012 Pro Circuit garnered over 11.7 million unique online viewers over 4 separate events. More than 15 million hours of videos were consumed by viewers in the course of just 4 weekends. Major companies and other advertisers now seeing the potential of professional gaming events.
Then you get the people who are professionally run and understand what goes into this, and they go to sponsors and they say, what do you need? What demographics do you need to hit? We have a very specific demographic, 18 to mid-20s, mid-30s males. So young men with income without responsibility. And it's a great demographic because they spend money like crazy. So that's where sponsors come in. They say, okay, we want to hit this target demographic. You're going to give us this many hits every week.
If there's one thing that's certain, is that as the years go on, esports are becoming more mainstream. Being a professional gamer can be considered an actual career choice. With the generation that is growing surrounded by technology and digital media, fan bases will grow, and the rock stars of the future will be popular gamers.